Hello everyone, my name is Springfre- Ugh, I think I disappeared for 2 months again. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to leave you guys hanging. Anyway, I'm back now, and I have some news about Little Nightmares 2. The third game in the Little Nightmares series. Alright. Okay, so over the past few months, their Twitter has been putting out various teaser images leading up to the game's release, each more revealing about the new characters within the game. The first one shows the hunter and gives a little more information about him. The post is captioned, "The hunter seems to work alone, stalking the wilderness with a rusty shotgun and a lantern-style flashlight. His motives are unknown, but he does appear to have an interest in taxidermy." In the blurb above the post, it also says that his shack is full of careless trophies. So what's going on here is pretty obvious. Once the hunter captures you, he stuffs you like an animal. Now I have a theory about his true motivation, but it's a bit far-fetched. It seems that the way the paragraph was phrased is a little odd. So if you read between the lines here, it's almost like the fact that he has an interest in taxidermy could be hinting at his true motivation. Now, we've actually seen taxidermied children in the Little Nightmares series before. In Very Little Nightmares, the white-haired girl had a collection of children who had most likely been stuffed by a character called the Craftsman. I did a whole video on that, links in the description. Well, what if the hunter used to work for the white-haired girl as well? After all, the lady did have multiple people capturing children for her. So, what if the hunter caught children as well and turned them into dolls? It would fit with his interest in taxidermy, and every other character from Little Nightmares 2 has been connected in some way to Very Little Nightmares. We'll just have to wait till more information comes out about the hunter, but it's still something to consider. The next image shows a shack in the woods, punctured by trees. This is most likely Mono's hiding place, as if you look very closely, you can see Mono standing outside it. This image is captioned, "The forest reclaims what does not defend itself. See that you don't stand still for too long." So in other words, the forest twists and wraps vines around what stands still for too long, so you must keep moving to prevent this. But you probably also have to balance this with standing still and hiding from the hunter, as if you ran, he'd probably see you, as we know that he also resides in the forest because of the Little Nightmares Instagram. Next, we have these images of the teacher in her school, reading, "Her methods are unconventional, but you can't argue with the results," and her class is full of well-behaved children. Now, I find it interesting that both the teacher and the students' portraits appear in the Runaway Kids DLC. And this fact just continues to further the connection between the Runaway Kids DLC, as in my last video I did point out a few other connections between that chapter of Little Nightmares' story and the trailer for this new game. If we look at the image of the school, the only thing that really stands out to me is that there's a very tall door in the school hallway, which is because the teacher is like 14 feet tall. So anyway, it's always bugged me that the students are made of porcelain. Like, what if this was the teacher's doing? Them having hollow heads could possibly mean that they've been brainwashed and corrupted by the teacher, so she can control them to do her bidding easier and attack our heroes. It's more speculation than a theory, but again, it's just something to consider. Okay, so I saved the best for last. These final two images help us establish a timeline of events in the game and help us see how things might play out. The first image is of Mono, saying that when he sets his mind on a task, he never gives up. Okay, so in my last Little Nightmares theory, I said that this building here was the schoolhouse. I'll link that one in the description too. Well, anyway, I'm going to say that this building is the hospital. Okay, so in the image we can see Mono dragging Six off the beach, where she presumably washed up after she escaped the nest and sailed across the ocean. The second image shows Mono platforming up a bunch of beds like we saw in the trailer. Now, how do we know that this was in the hospital? Well, it can't be the school, as that was shown in the last trailer, and the beds in the image look very similar to the beds in the hospital. And if you look very closely, you can see a bandaged body lying on one of the beds, and the headless body from the trailer does also appear to be wrapped in bandages. You can also see rolls of bandages lying on the ground. So that would mean that the hospital is the first location in the game, even before we go to Mono's hideaway, and that Mono is the one who saves Six off the beach. So as the teasers for this game seem to be ramping up, I'm going to say that we'll get another trailer in about a month, and the game will come out around August or September, accounting for the virus. So anyway, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on my theories in the comments below. And remember, stay inside, stay safe, and goodbye.